Everyone, welcome back to another stream. Hope you're all doing good. Hi, Kilniath and Mist as well. Yeah, so I thought, it's been quite a long time since we played PSO2, so I thought we'd do that for a change today. It's actually been quite a few months since I played it. It doesn't feel like it at all, but I think the last time we played was about February, so... yeah, I thought it was about time to revisit it again. Depending on how many people we get today, we may do just base game PSO2, we may do some NGS creative space as well, because I have been working on a project in creative space. It's been long enough that I uninstalled it from everything. I think when I looked, I think it was about February, maybe mid-February, last time I played it. It's weird because it doesn't feel that long at all. I guess we have done, a few weeks of PSO. We've also done, PSU and a few other games in between, so it does kind of feel like sometimes the games like Zero and PSO2, it feels like forever before they come back around again. It has been 84 years. Or 1,000 depending on the franchise, yeah. More likely 1,000 in Phantasy Star. Good evening backwards to you, Ellie, as well. So yeah, I'll give it a couple of minutes in case anyone does want to join for the Classic, but if not, we'll just jump over to NGS Creative Space. This year is speeding by, it's hard to believe it's May. Not only that, I mean, we're almost halfway through May. Good to see you, Draft, here as well. I saw you asking on the Discord for an invite to the Fala Fam on PSO2. It's probably, I'm guessing probably Draken that you need to speak to get an invite to that. Because I'm not actually in the Fala Fam on PSO2, so I was already in a team. I'd like to believe I'm an honorary member. So I was quite surprised when I came on here, and there was actually quite a few people in the lobby still. I guess there are some people with PSO2 that obviously much prefer the classic game and are just happy to play that, so... But yeah, I know what you mean, Jaffe. It's crazy how fast this year is going, really. I'm a Fala affiliate, I'll take it. So I'll go to the casino first. And then if there's no one around after casino, we'll jump over to NGS Creator Space. So I was also thinking as well, considering I am an NGS creator, I should probably do NGS on stream at some point. I actually love Blackneck. Blackneck is fine, except when it feels like Niao cheats constantly. It feels like every time you have a good hand, Niao will always have a 21. Yeah, I do like the casino in PSO2. I don't come here very often, honestly, because there isn't really that much reason to do it. Obviously, nothing from NGS really unlocks here, so a lot of things that you get in this are more for PSO2 base. So just like a real casino then, exactly. I mean, it's authentic, I guess. But yeah, there's no real reason to come here. I know a lot of people want a casino in NGS, but I don't really see it happening. I just think the setting of NGS isn't really... it just doesn't really fit with having a casino. Oh, someone's betting on the roulette. Go on then, let's just lose everything. Yeah, I'll check the lobby after this, and then if there's no one there, we'll jump over to NGS. Do actually have some stuff to do in NGS as well, so... Now I'll show you the creative space I've been working on. I did post a picture of it in the Discord of like the very early stages of it, but it's now almost finished. I've been working on it for literally hours. Oh, so close yet so far. Wow. Yeah, just like a real casino. You've been catching up on the story. Is that for NGS story or for PSO2 Classic? NGS, okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how far through the story you are. I would say try and stick with it because the early portion of NGS story is really, really poor, honestly. It's not good. But the last, I would say the last maybe 2 chapters have started to get quite interesting, so... I'm not sure if Drax's on, honestly. Origin Festival has a big experience boost. Yeah, the festival that's on in NGS at the minute is a really good time to get leveled. I mean, honestly, yeah, to be really honest, I think leveling in NGS doesn't really take that long anywhere, even outside of events. But it's nice to have the extra boost there. Yeah, I think for now we'll jump off to NGS for the time being. If people do jump on later and want to do a classic, just let me know. It takes so long to switch between PSO2 and NGS. There we go. Hopefully they announce the Malignant Darkfall Solus quest, because I actually really like the Solus fight, so I wouldn't mind doing it. Time was bad. Oh, no worries. So I did say it was going to be PSO2/NGS in the title, so... Well, I do need to do my dailies first, so I'll get those done quick. Alright, so I need to do Tim's meat, and... Yeah, that should be pretty easy, actually. Hi, Jack. You okay? You're voting? Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, that is slightly more important. Got distracted and went out too late. There should be some tames around here that I need. I was checking out. I quite like Tector and NGS. You do cycle the same PA quite a lot, but there is like slightly more advanced stuff you can do as well. So you can cancel out of text to get to your big attacks faster. There's also some good tech customizations as well and PA customizations. So I don't know if you remember, but there used to be a PA with ones where if you press it, you kind of dash towards the enemy. You can now change it to this one that fires up a piercing wave instead. So I think I probably need to do a veteran enemy, so if there's a good veteran around, I'll show you. Maybe here? Oh, they added that. Yeah, I think there was a rebalancing of a lot of the tactic skills as well, so it is a much stronger class now. Don't particularly want to solo the Giga, just because it would be annoying. Oh, someone's killed a veteran that's normally here. Are you not a fan of the Gigantics thing? So another change they made, I don't know if this was the same when you played, but now to elementally charge your one now, you don't need to do a charge attack, you can just do a uncharge one. And then you can combo off it. So basically if I cancel out of the first PA, I can get to the big hit in my normal combos faster. Because normally if I let the PA play out normally, it basically goes like that, but if I cancel out a bit faster, it's really jarring to have to stop to charge text. Yeah, it's a really nice change, I think. Yeah, just generally they improved a lot of the values and a lot of the PAs and everything as well. Just made it a much stronger class. It's slightly annoying that you're going right out into the water where I can't really fight. Oh nice, we've got a concert. Can't stay, have a great stream. No worries, Ellie. Good to see you. So the concert itself, I'm not excited about at all, but because it's the festival at the minute, they are cycling a lot of the Malignant Darkfalls quests, and they've upped them all to level 100. I think this week is Solus, which was always my favourite one of the Falz fights in this anyway, so... It's a much more mobile class now as well, just the fact that you can just hit something with a tech, and then if you do an attack straight after it, you basically dash towards them. So like that. Just gives the class a lot more mobility now. Mature warning on the stream, hello all. Yeah, Twitch auto tags NGS as a mature game. You can't turn it off. I think it is actually... I don't know if it is in Europe, but I know in some regions it is treated as an 18 game now. I mean, to be honest, I kind of agree with it. Given some of the stuff people create in this. There we go. That's good to see you, Bank. Oh, the veterans there as well, actually. I need that for an alliance order. Oblivion Remastered says mature game on Twitch too. Yeah, I really like the veteran theme. I like the veteran theme in a lot of the areas, honestly. Anything Stia is, let's be real. I think Stia's maybe my favourite region. I like Ritem as well. Way more fluid right now, but personally I would like more PAs on Tector. I know we talked about it a bit in the podcast, but one of the issues at the minute with most classes, honestly, with PAs is they're just, because of how the sub-palette system works, you are really, really limited in the amount of slots you've got. And obviously on Tector you also want your techs on your palette as well, so that you can elementally charge your wand. And it makes it really, really crowded. I mean, you could technically use some of your sub-palette here, but even that's kind of cramped with Tector. But I certainly wouldn't be against them adding, a couple of new PAs. Also, hi Void Money, good to see you. So what I'll do, since we're waiting for the concert and everything, I will show you the creative space I've been working on. So this, I still have some little bits to finish, just to like tidy bits up, but the actual layout is done. This is by a Malay from Phantasy Star 1. Exactly mapped out as the game is. I've even got it so the first 3 floors are underground as well. I just need to tidy things up, but yeah, the actual layout of it is all done. It is basically just a hell of a lot of grey walls at the minute, but that is kind of how it is in the game. I even looked at the PS2 remake to see what it looks like, and it basically looks like this. I put a few windows in here and there just so you can see where you are. But PSO did player housing before, wow. The pitfalls are in, yeah. I have made them obvious so you can see where they are, but they are in, and they work. What I can do is, if I get, I'll get the guide so I can actually show you a run through. I basically use the maps that are on PS Cave and another site as well. So that's why it should all be accurate. Alright, so at the entrance here. So I have to actually use the map to see where I'm going because I get lost in here otherwise. Okay, so it's basically just to show you that it all works. There is some bits I need to tidy up, some areas where I need to fill bits in, but for the most part it works. So that's your first floor. And this just loops around here to the next floor. And this goes all the way around here. I was actually quite surprised that there isn't actually that many pitfall traps in the dungeon. I think there's only 3 in the whole dungeon. Personal headcanon is that Lashik destroyed the basement of the air castle and dropped to the ground because it was horrid to traverse. He got sick of trying to get through it and just thought, I'm done with this. Okay, so we're on level 4 at the minute. So you come up here. This would normally be where you run into, was it Dumon, the guy who gives you the crystal? So I've got an NPC that says, I will give you a magic crystal for a reward. Then you'd normally escape out. Have you seen Phantasy Star 3 maps? It's all one floor except one dungeon. I'm okay with that. Yeah, so then you would go back to the start, having now got the crystal. Then you go back in again. It's crazy, I have to actually check the map so I know where I'm going. Okay, then this is an easy one, this just lives around. Feels exactly the same. It should be, because like I say, it is actually based on the map. You know exactly the turns you're making. Okay, so we're now on... Yeah, here, so we go here. I've even put the chest in the right place as well. So for this one, I think you can go this way. Down here. Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? So when you first go in, you go up to the top floor to get the crystal. Then you basically go back in, go all the way down into the basement, and then work your way back up again. Yeah, so go down here. This took so long to do, though. I've been working on this for the last few days, like a few hours a day. You would normally, as well, you would normally go to the northwest of this floor to get the key for the miracle key. And then from here, you go... So we're now on the part where we're basically going all the way down to the bottom. Is there a meow decoration? I don't think there is. There is a like acrylic stand-esque thing that looks like Alice, which I'm going to put in somewhere. And there are some like Thames models, and one of them looks kind of similar to Meow, but I don't think there's an actual Meow decoration, which is a shame. It was a Mag Meow. Yeah, I think there might have been. I don't think there's a decoration or anything though. Okay, so we're now on the bottom floor. I think it's this way? Yeah. Oh, you had to go to the live concert. Okay, so now we're starting to go back up again. You can buy the live stream ticket to and get the code. Yeah, because I want to say I think they streamed it, but I could be wrong. Okay, so that was number... Yes, that's a chest there. You know it's bad when you actually get lost in a dungeon that you've designed. Sky casually designing Daedalus' labyrinth in his off time. Alright, so that's a square bit there. Okay, so I want to go over here. Right, so from here I think I can get it. Yeah, I know where I am again now. Yes, that's right. So that's number 13. Okay, I know where I am now. So from here, this way to another chest. Phantasy 2 maps versus 3 is so funny. You could write a paper on it. That's number 15. And 16. Okay, so that is a pitfall. I will do it and then I'll go into edit mode and get back up. So I have on one of the floors there is the nearest thing I could put to a monster, which is a crab. So I've set this up basically so that as soon as you step on it, it opens and drops you through. I need to reset the height of that one a little bit just so it works a bit better, but... I might be able to cheese it and get it to open again. Nah, it won't let me. What I'll do is I will cheese my way in here, just so I can show you the rest of it. It is very finicky sometimes to get stuff to fit in, but... Go on, you can do it. I think that's right. Maybe. It's slightly, I'll fix that when I get outside. It'll be a lot easier to fix from outside. There we go. Managed to close it again. Yeah, so that is the trap. That's one of them anyway. So from the trap, we go down here, across. Yeah, I think the creative space is really good, considering it's not a game that's designed for this kind of thing. I think it's crazy that how well it's done. Some more quality of life wouldn't go amiss, but it is really cool to have it. Okay, so that is their 17. Then 18 should be down here. I just can't remember what this one's from. It is called Curio Arc Serpent. Maybe from Idler, possibly. I just like the look of it. I think I got it in a special scratch or something. Oh, it's the 12 weapon, okay. Okay, so that's 18. So I've changed the floor here to let you know you're on the last floor. This is like the worst pitfall trap in the entire Biome Malay, because there's no way past it. You have to use trap to get past that. In NGS, you can just cheese it and just go like that, but you know, you get the idea. Go on, close again. There we go. I need to figure out how to get it to close automatically as well. I also want to get it so there's obviously a chest that's meant to have the miracle key. I want to get it so that some of the doors will only unlock if you've interacted with that chest. I think there is a way to do it. So if you've done Biome Malay, you probably recognize this bit where it's just constant doors. Yeah, you can do loads with the Connect ID system. That's how I've got the pitfall traps to work. I basically got it so there's a collision detection box, and as soon as you trigger that, it sends a Connect ID to the pitfall trap to open. And that is the end of the dungeon. And then I've just got a little thing here because I didn't really know what to put on the roof. Because I know this is where you obviously use the aero prism. So I need to think about what I can put on the roof. As nice as it would be to make the sky castle as well, I have no chance of doing that because I am currently at about, what, 65-70% placed items, so no chance of that. But yeah, but that is Biome Malay. If anyone does want to try it in NGS, the creative space is open. Just search for Biome Malay and it should show. If you do get stuck in it as well, there is a way to just reset yourself. So if you go to creative space, go to return to starting point, and it'll walk you back to the start. Yeah, I need to tidy it up a little bit in places, but it works. That's why I want to only do the castle. I can't fit the dungeon and the castle. Castle has the town area too, yeah. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to fit in the build parts, but it actually fits really easy. You can actually build a lot more than I thought you could. So with that, let's go and see if False Solus is up. Put a pool on the rooftop. I could. Is the concert still going on? God. Yeah, you couldn't see the roof on the first one. I did look up what it looked like on the PS2 remake, but there really isn't much to it. So that is entirely up to my interpretation, really. Alright, what I'll do is I'll get some of these dailies done quickly just while the concert's finishing. I do need to do Lucille actually. But yeah, I just thought I'd do it as like an interesting little challenge to try and make something interesting in Creator Space. I think I want to do some more videos on the Creator Space as well because I think it's something that not many people really cover. Let's see if I can get a party full of Seal. Wish you could mod the concerts. Yeah, I mean, and personally, I don't really care too much about the concerts, but I do agree that it would be nice to have at least one of the one, just so it's not Nadara every single time. I mean, I know we had the period where there was the Papona concerts as well, but they're done now. You know, Papona's graduated, hasn't she? So probably take a bit longer to get a party full of Seal because I think people are waiting for the urgent quest. Hi, Akuma. You love Akuna switching. I'm honestly kind of surprised that they haven't done something similar for maybe a PSO2 anniversary. I think is it the 13th anniversary of PSO2's this year, so maybe they could do something for that, but well, we only need 2 more people full of Seal. I mean, I don't mind the Nadra concert. I don't think the songs are that bad or anything. It's just that it's been the same one over and over again, so it would be nice to have a bit of a change. Yeah, so the way the concert buff works now, Drac, is I think once you've attended, I think it's 10 concerts, you get the buff automatically regardless of whether you go to the concert or not. I guess they realised that people don't want to sit around in the concerts all the time. So they made it so, I'm sure it's after 10 concerts, you just get the buff automatically. Arkham need more love by Sega. Come on, one more person, then we can do Lucille. I'll pick one and go with 7, yeah, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. This is like the longest it's taken me to get a Lucille running, God knows how long. I don't know if you've seen it actually, Drac, but there's like a new version of Lucille now as well, so it's not just the exploration one like it used to be. Oh, there we go, cool. Like, take a break during the content. I mean, you still do that, you'll still get the buff. I'm actually in the same party as Akuma. You see something like clean off your desk. It gives you time. I mean, I'll be honest, I've never been a huge fan of the whole emergency quest system. I prefer it when you could just go and do falls whenever you wanted to, but didn't got the 10 concept title, I just never stopped attending. Yeah, so for anyone who hasn't seen it, the way this version of Lucille works is after each room, you basically get access to one of a few buffs. Yeah, so there's new BGM for this one. What they said though is this version of Lucille, it being the replacement, is only like a temporary thing. So what they're doing is it's only this version of Lucille at the moment. And then they're going to basically cycle between the two. So one day it'll be the exploration, one day it'll be this. I assume the old one will still use the old theme. They make it Lucille and LTQ. I think they said that they'll always be there. It's just going to like rotate between the two. So you probably know how it used to be with Lucille. So it used to be where the boss and the buffs would rotate every day. Where now basically the type of the quest is going to rotate every day. So you'll get this one day, and this quest has different map variations and everything as well, and different bosses. Yeah, I know the LTQ thing is something that people have never been a huge fan of. Is Nameless still relevant? You have to do it as one of your dailies if you want to do it. I honestly don't tend to at the minute. I think that it was obviously mainly used when the Iridium weapons were the thing you wanted to farm. There is a 12-star version now called Clearidim that has EX abilities as well. I honestly can't remember if they do drop in Nameless. I haven't ran Nameless for a while simply because a lot of the Clearidim weapons tend to drop in LTQs and everything anywhere. And they drop in Lucille as well. So I'm trying to think if there is a reason you would run Nameless at the minute. I'm going to assume that maybe when there's like another upgrade to weapons, maybe they'll cycle those in at Nameless. Because it does seem odd to just have Nameless and then it'd be completely irrelevant. And they do seem to be on this dev cycle where content basically gets released, then it'll be irrelevant for a while, and then they'll rotate back around to it.
Success. Trial start.
This is the part that annoys tons of people. The older content, no matter how good it is, if it's not on par with the recent one, no one will play it. Yeah, I do totally agree with that. They need to give people a reason to actually play some of the unused content. Can't see a thing.
Success. Trial start.
Yeah, the way Lucille is at the minute, I don't mind doing it for my daily once a day. And it is still a decent area to farm for some of like the acro materials as well. So there is reasons to do Lucille at the minute. Surprised I haven't done a challenge mode for Lucille. Yeah, I mean, I suppose like the way this works, I suppose you've got like the random buffs and everything, but I think I got the wrong impression of this quest when they announced it, because when they announced it, they made it sound like it was going to be a bit like a roguelike. But it kind of isn't really, because I've never had a quest that's been difficult in this Lucille variation. Occasionally you'll get a run where you won't kill the boss at the end, because you'll run out of time, but you still get materials and stuff for doing it. Are all classes viable in this? I think the majority of them are actually, because what they tend to do is they tend to do like class updates every so often anyway. Some of them are better than others. I know when Gunner got updated, the Gunner updates were really, really minor. I can't kind of feel gunning maybe needs a bit more, but it's still totally viable. Yeah, it's like Drax said as well, like basically in this game, pretty much every class is a DPS class. You do have some that have other things they can do, so Ranger, a bit like PSO2, still uses Blight Rounds to weaken enemies, you know, to make them take more damage. Tech to the class I'm playing is the only class that uses Shifter and D-Band. And for the most part, I don't mind a lot of the classes in this game. I just think some of them need a few tweaks. There has just been a Braver update very recently as well. Weak Bullet is still insane damage. Yeah, I think Weak Bullet, it feels like it's been nerfed from PSO2 base. I think originally in base, I think it was, what, 300% originally, and then it dropped to 255, I think. I don't know what the modifier is for it in NGS, but it's still pretty big. In this quest, though, I will say the damage numbers, don't pay too much attention to them because we get a lot of big buffs in this quest. So I'm doing way more damage than I would do normally. Random green Lexide while I watch the stream, rarely.
Trial start.
Yeah, so then the boss that we fought a bit earlier then turns up again. So you basically want to do as much damage as you can earlier on so that you've got enough time to actually kill it now. Yeah, I mean, you see how much damage I was doing there. Like, I did 500,000 with my Photon Blast. That is not normal damage. They did make the boss do a lot of damage in this as well. Yeah, I used to really like the Exegol fight in PSO2 Classic. I did actually manage to do that. I think that was just before I stopped playing. I do remember fighting Exegol. I don't know if they've already broken his, but to be honest, I know you normally go for the back first. It might already be broken. Yeah, I think it is actually. I was just being very lazy going for the front. I do normally go for the back. Ah, we got him, cool.
Success.
Easy, exactly. Is there much in terms of nostalgia for Ragdoll or PSO and PSO2? Not really. But the only thing I can think of is there are a few areas on the map that play classic music. There isn't honestly much in common between this and PSO. Whether that changes towards the end of the year with the anniversary coming up, maybe they might add some PSO stuff, but $80k DPS. Yeah, it's not a bad game, NGS. I would say it's a game, honestly, you don't have to put much time into either as well. You can play pretty casually. There is stuff in the game that you do need to grind for. So, like, if you want to do high-level Ruin Masquerade, then, yeah, you need really good gear. Alright, so that's, what, 10 minutes until Solar starts? Yeah, I suppose, yeah, PSO2, I guess, kind of follows a similar pattern, doesn't it, to PSO? Especially, you know, starting in the forest and everything as well, and then going to the caves. Yeah, I think in regards to NGS, I think, you know, aside from the obvious Fantasy Star staples like Dark Falls, I think the only real reference happening off to PSO is some of the music that's in the map. Basically, if you don't know, there are certain points in the map where if you stand on them, it'll play music from the older games. So I do have a daily to do urgent, actually, so yeah, we will do Solus then. If I actually have anything left to upgrade on my Mars. I feel like I never use Mars now. Yeah, if you're already starting out as well, there is a campaign at the minute to sort of help new players as well. So if you go to the shop and go to Treasure Shop, there is a campaign at the minute where they're basically giving away Tricelio gear, which is really decent 11-star gear that you can upgrade to 12-star. And the same for the armors as well. They're really, really cheap, so it's a really good way of sort of getting into decent gear. They don't come with any affixes or anything, so you do have to sort those out. And you know, they don't have any potentials or anything on them either, but it does save you quite a bit in the long run. Yeah, it was kind of similar with Dark Blast, wasn't it? I mean, they have buffed some things on Mars since it launched. I think they also nerfed there's like the super attack that you do with Hydra. It's like a huge railgun, basically. They nerfed that because it was ridiculously overpowered. Honestly, I think even in Urgent Quest, I very rarely use Mars now. Apart from in the Dark Falls Vial one where you have to use it, there's a part of the fight where you're basically forced to use Mars. So I don't even want to be here, I want to be in Retem. You got an 840k damage Hydra Termination on Solus break post nerf. Jesus. So it's still really strong. But they did nerf it though, didn't they? It does kind of feel with Mars at the minute as well, like it almost feels like there's only two of the weapons that are viable, which is Hydra and Garm. I kind of feel the other two are just fundamentally not as good. There's really no point in doing anything else because like, the Urgent Quest starting in a few minutes, so... You use Nidhogg and Garm? Yeah, Nidhogg... I don't mind it. I think I probably prefer using Garm overall. And then I typically use Hydra for my range option. Although I think this character might have Scylla, possibly. I think Scylla has some interesting uses, but I think one of the issues with Scylla is that if you dodge, you lose some of the charges that you've got, which is really damaging to it. And to be honest, overall, I just generally prefer fighting without using Mars. I kind of feel that Mars is a little bit button mashy as well. That's just a fun little toy to you. Yeah, I mean, I like that it's there. It's cool that we got an action system like that. And I like that it feels like a little nod to the SUV weapons from PSU. And I like that. I wish it was a little better. And maybe a little bit more expanded on. It does just feel very spammy to me at the minute. Kind of funny, I think this is the first time I've actually streamed any NGS since more or less since I started streaming. It's actually nice to do it now and again. Mars is nice, but we don't need it. Hope with the new action system, it's only a Mars upgrade and not a completely new system which has its own activation icon. Don't want to have Mars and the new one in the sub palette. Yeah, again, we were talking about this a bit earlier. The sub palette and the weapon palette are very, very, you know, clogged for space at the minute. So adding more and more to it seems like a really bad idea. The one buff tech that needs 20 sub palette slots. It's really weird in NGS because there are some classes that just seem to barely use the sub palette. I mean, I know you can do things like putting your photon art on the sub palette if you want to, but I tend to like just having the photon art on the actual weapons themselves. But Tector feels like one of the only classes where I actually genuinely use all my sub palette. Yeah, Force is pretty bad as well, yeah. Yeah, Force got updated not so long back as well. That's also really strong now. Like, his Force was starting to fall off really hard compared to the other classes, so they rebalanced it and they've made that quite a lot stronger. I think Braver was the most recent one that got an update, but I haven't retried much of that yet. I think it is good though that they periodically go and look at the classes and, you know, update ones as needed. Because you do find over time, you know, there is a discrepancy in how strong the classes are compared to each other. I'm interested to see if they ever add any more classes, or if they're just stood after Slayer. If Sega gives us double and triple assignments, then I have no problem with that, but I think controllers would stumble. This guy, I hope the stream is going well so far. Yeah, not too bad, Remote. Yeah, doing a bit of NGS for a change. Who'd have thought? Force always felt average apart from release NGS, but I haven't played it after the update. It was fairly average. I think when the game first launched, it was fairly strong, and then it kind of fell off quite fast. Since the update, it is very strong now. So hopefully I can do Malignant Solus and not completely screw it up. There's like one part in the Solus fight that I nearly always screw up and end up falling off the platforms. Always nice to switch it up, especially now that PSO Baby is in a dry spell until anniversary. Yeah, it's just nice to do, you know, something different for a change, really. Do you have 13 stars yet? No, they're not in the game yet. We're on 12 stars at the minute. I think it's 12-star weapons and... yeah, 12-star weapons and 11-star armors at the minute. We do also have the legend weapons as well, though, which is like a new type of rarity. Right, has this started? It has. It hasn't announced it, but it has started. Yeah, they said for the legend weapons, it was basically going to be weapons from previous Phantasy stars. I think the first one is the 4 boss weapons from PSO2. They're going to have like quite interesting potentials and things like that. So I think the full boss one has something where I think you get a buff or something if you sheath the weapon. It's very weird, but they are very hard to get. They're kind of like the chase weapons at the minute, a bit like how the relic weapons used to be years ago. So for some reason, someone has already dropped out. Yeah, we should be fine. I can't remember, honestly, in PSO2. I never really used the 4-boss series then. Right, we'll see if people actually stay in this quest. I had one run yesterday, I think it was, where 5 people dropped out at the start. So it was like me and 2 other people from our alliance just 3-man the quest. But yeah, this is like easily my favourite fight in NGS so far. Tons of people leave on cooldown. Did they add any new moves to him? For Malignant Souls, there is a few new moves, yeah. I think in this phase, I think there's only 1 new move. Thank you for the Garons. But the second phase in particular, there's a nuke he does at the start of his second phase that is totally new. He's just generally a lot more aggressive as well and does a lot more damage. He also does this twice now. I don't know why it was targeting him there. It's one thing I will say about NGS. I do feel that the sort of the big bosses like Falls, the fights are generally pretty fun. Still have the muscle memory for counters in this fight, done it so many times. I mistimed that. Really love the verticality. It gets a lot more vertical soon. Great thing about Tactic for this fight is the last hit of the regular combo has total iframes all the way through it. So if you get the timing right, you can just iframe through stuff. BGM slaps. The music for this is really good. It's probably one of my favourite things in the game. Again, I know some people can't like to dunk on NGS, but I will say that the music in NGS, for the most part, is really good. Oh yeah, that is basically the theme, isn't it? So you can see there, I iframed that one there. So hopefully we can get that break. Yeah, the colours I'm not a huge fan of. I think I preferred how we looked originally. find the Borderlands 3 OST to be surprisingly good. I don't think I've heard the Borderlands OST, to be honest. Alright, so coming up, this is the part I always screw up, always. I'm terrible at platforming in this game. Ah, there we go, got it this time, good. Nice. I'm just going to drop down and wait for him to come down. Yeah, some of the platforms were made smaller for Malignant. It makes it very awkward to platform. It's really easy to mess it up. Alright, so the second phase is basically just way more aggressive, and he does have some new moves. So he starts off with this nuke that he does every time. The good thing is there is a set pattern to avoiding it, and I can remember what it is. Yes, that's a new move. This is another new move. This just reminds me of Olga Flow. This guy's got nothing on. PSO Dark Falls Rabata hitting you 300 times and doing 10 million damage. This attack's changed a bit as well. So he drops all the pillars and then all of them disappear, apart from one. He also tries juking you out with that as well, and he changes direction at the end. Sky timing is one smacks with the BGM. I messed that up slightly. Thankfully it was on the last one, not the first one. So if you mess that up on the first or the second one, you don't have enough time to recover for the others. I really don't like the wall attack because I'm really not good at it. It wasn't too bad though. Yeah, so he doesn't just let you do the mines now, he will actually still attack you while you're doing them. Yeah, they stop nuking you whenever he attacks, but you just have to kind of pay attention to what he's doing. I do feel like it's a big improvement over the regular Solus fight though, overall. I mean, at this point, he's done. Yeah, I still think this is probably my favourite fight in NGS overall. Dalian's really good as well. He's not Luther, no, unfortunately. So me just completely refusing to do Mars. Yeah, it's a cool fight. I do really like it. Okay, did we get anything decent? I think you can do it twice at the minute as well. I like that everyone has a fancy get up and then there's a dude in the back with Converses and a gun. Yeah, that is pretty much NGS in a nutshell. Oh, no uber rare. Oh, melons, often melons. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to deny that. Check PSO screenshots when you can, Sky. Let's have a look. Jesus. A 90 hit Disco Braveman. So that's a 100 hit Disco Braveman. I mean, if you find something like that, you've won PSO. Because basically anything you could ever want and more, you can get for that Disco Braveman. That's insane. Name it, I never miss. I mean, I have no idea what the valuation that would even be. I mean, I think Vectors... So Vectors is 85 hit, and I'm sure someone said that's about 2,000 to 3,000 PDs. So God only knows what 100 hit Disco Braveman is. So with enough Psycho ones for the entire Affinia player base. I think we can do Solus one more time at the minute. I'm sure it's on twice. Yes, it is. Cool. Let's do that. Then once we've done this, see if anyone wants to do PSO2 Classic. If not, I'll just do a bit more NGS. But yeah, that is probably the biggest drop I've ever seen. I do remember it's Experience Week. Yeah, the valuation on that would be just insanity. I can't even imagine how much that'd be worth. I mean, I've never seen anything with even close to that hit. Seem to have a friend. And the highest hit I've found is like, what, 60? Or 65, somewhere like that. Is the number one in top fashion like still Isla? I think they're up there. I honestly have no idea why. I mean, I do know why, but it's not for me is all I'm going to say. That was very satisfying countering two things at once with the same attack. The other character should have been named Balloon Bosom. I mean, that is essentially their entire character, isn't it? And again, probably has a large reason for why NGS is now rated as a mature game. So that spin attack he did there, I'm pretty sure that's a new attack from Malignant. He doesn't do it very often, but... Oh, he actually got me. Yeah, I've never really understood the fascination with that myself, honestly. I think I've got the Balloon Bosom unlocked in one of my characters, but I think I tried it once and I thought it looked terrible, so I just never used it again. Imagine if they added simple compounds this game plus 3 sub-pallet clutter. Yeah, we want to move. Also, this beam, I think that beam on regular Solus you could block or counter. It's unblockable now. Still Sepal. I don't know if it is. Generally, on most of these Falls fights, if an attack's in orange, you can't do anything about it, you just have to avoid it. So it was the same on things like Dalian. Dalian has a lot of orange attacks that you just can't do anything about, you have to just make sure you're not in the range of them, basically. Again, I think a lot of that was added on the Malignant versions because they are like the harder versions of the fights. I would test it, but I'd probably die if it didn't work. We're actually really far off a break. But yeah, I feel like they made enough changes to this fight to make it feel different. God, here we go again. Thing is, you need to be dashing to get enough distance. So that's why I kind of circle on the platforms to kind of keep the speed going. Still don't get break accumulation. Yeah, bounces definitely help, for sure. But it is weird sometimes, like sometimes you'll have a fight where it feels like it takes forever to get the break gauge down. Then other times it'll just go down super fast. He's got a second phase without a break this time. I think it would be cool with this attack if he sort of varied up which size he did, so it wasn't the same every time. I think if you damage him too fast, it's less break because less attacks overall. It could be that, yeah. I don't really honestly know how the break gauge works. And there we go. Finally got the break. Yes, you see, he drops all the pillars, but most of them just shatter on impact on Malignant. Oh god, he changed direction a lot there. They've really got you doing the Guru Guru in this fight. They do. That's kind of BS. He's hit his threshold for the next phase, but just decided to do one more attack for no reason. Oh, be nice. Give me a nice easy one. Yeah, I'll take that. Let's actually use Mars since we didn't use last time. I almost feel like I do pretty much as much damage just with my wand. Just doing that, that's fine. There we go. I think a genius move by Sega would be to have a different BGM pitch when you summon Mars. It's kind of weird, the music with Mars, honestly. For this fight, obviously, it makes no difference when you summon it. It just keeps the music going. But there's a weird bug with it, which I don't think they've ever fixed, which is if you're fighting something like a veteran enemy, when you summon Mars, the veteran music just stops. I'm pretty sure it's a bug. I don't think it's intended, but no legend NGS, unfortunately. Thing is way too rare. No SGS, damn exactly. Yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with the legend weapons, because they did say it's from things from previous Fantasy Stars, so it would be cool to see some more PSO weapons. At the minute, the only thing we've really got is we've got a few weapon camos for things like Psycho ones, but it'd be cool to actually have some PSO weapons back. The problem is, I think, with the way the NGS works, because everything's a series. Unless you just made something like a Ragdoll series, and then the double saber was a double cannon, and the rod was a Psycho one, things like that. I guess that's one way of getting around it, but you don't really have sort of unique weapons in NGS. Everything is part of a series. I think you'll get what they can control and sync control from V from base for a long while. Yeah, so that's kind of part of the Origin Festival at the minute. They're basically doing these Malignant boss fights that you can do twice. I can't remember how often it rotates. I want to say it's once every 1 or 2 weeks. I think either next week or the week after it's going to rotate to Dalian, I think. It's basically all building up to, I think in June we get Malignant Darkfall's Vial, which has been changed quite a bit, so quite interested in that. I think Vial isn't one of my favourite fights in the game, but the Malignant version, I think they're taking the Mars part out of it, so it'd be interesting to see how it is to fight it without Mars. So I'm just thinking, so what do people want to see? Do you want to see some more NGS or do you want to see some PSO2 Classic? Classic. But hey, you know, proof, I do play NGS. I know you wouldn't think it looking at my channel sometimes, but I do play NGS. Just gonna chill this stream, no worries. I'm gonna go eat soon. Let's see, well, let's switch back over to some PSO2 for now. I know you play NGS since I get frequent Steam notifications telling me. Frequent is maybe an overstatement. I know I play a couple of times a week. I've only been playing more recently because I've been making that buy and Malay in the creator space. Regular BGM in the lobby. What was it before this? Was it, I'm trying what PSO2 uses for the Easter music. Could sleep for days hearing this. It is quite chill, the lobby music in PSO2, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like it. Oh, it was the New Year music. Yeah, I'm not surprised it was getting any nerves. Don's a quest tiramisu. I need to listen to this now. Yeah, kind of. That's exactly what you say as well. Someone in the lobby asking if you like pineapple pizza. I would say no to that. Sky Kilnia thought it was carbonara course instead of paracabana. Yeah, I'm with you, Drac. I can't stand pineapple pizza. Actually on because they're doing a slime collab on the 21st. Yeah, I think that's the next like collab scratch coming up, isn't it? Rimuru Mag will be mine. Yeah, we'll say some of the collabs I've done recently have been pretty good. I do like the stamp system, especially the ones where they're voiced as well. The only thing I will say is that the ones that are voiced, I feel they need to put a bit of a cooldown on them because there are some people that just spam them in the lobbies. Yeah, the free run stamps are really funny. You lost your whimsy when you approved pineapple pizza. Time to remember how to play PSO2. See, the problem is now I'm NGS brains, so now I just can't remember how to play this game at all. PSO2 requires skill. Oof. There are things in NGS that require skill. Admittedly not too many, but... excuse me? That mega just went straight through you. I feel scammed. Okay. Excuse me? PSO2 makes my brain go, but mobility is wonky but fast as fuck. Yeah. I think the mobility, it varies a bit on the class. I personally think that force feels quite slow in this unless you're using the travel PAs. Yeah, I think I've got Elson, I think. I'm sure I got that on my pal, actually. Yes, I do. Yeah, that one. I think it's just one thing I will never get used to with PSO2, just the fact that travel PAs kind of exist and you just get around using PA spam. I know it's not the only game to have done it. I know PSU was kind of bad for it as well, with things like Tornado Dance.
PSE Burst!
Almost. Yeah, the hit detection on Megid seems really janky here. There you go. There's your PSU music bit. Yep. Was it Mizuraki, I think? You know the build up to it every time. Have you seen the roadmap promises for Clem? I think you posted it a couple of days ago. I think some of the changes look relatively interesting. I do kind of feel with Clementine though that, and this isn't meant to sound like an insult, but I kind of feel that their priorities seem to change almost constantly. I think I'd prefer them to just like focus on something. So maybe that's just me, but I hope with the 8 slot, the minimum BP for Vial is at least 4469. That would be Acrocelio with full LC and 3EX, and full LC with 1 DP capsule on Acrostasis armor. Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that Sega are giving access to people to give them decent gear, you know, by giving them the free Triceliors. I think that's a good step. But there has been a lot recently of people going into some of the LTQs and the some of the urgent quests as well that are really undergeared. You know, there's still people who are using like the free handout gear from months ago, and I don't think anyone should be using that now. You know, Tricelio is pretty much free to get now, so I think you should be at least using Tricelio at the bare minimum. Expert matching in PS2 Classic was my best experience with difficult content. Yeah, I think when the expert block thing got added, I didn't like it at first because I didn't like the requirements to unlock it. Because I'm sure, I could be wrong, but I think when I played, I think you had to beat one of the extreme quests that was really difficult, and I really struggled with that. I don't know if I'll be able to destroy this on my own. I'm going to assume probably not. Yeah, I might just run actually because I don't think I'm actually going to beat that in time. Did Sega revive PSO2? They did not. PSO2 has always been running. Again, I think a lot of people just assume that PSO2 went away. It's always been available to play. I mean, the player base is small for it, admittedly. The fact it has 0 alerts. Yeah, there's nothing new for it anymore. I mean, they haven't updated it in a few years now. It will live on in our hearts. What a nice sentiment. But yeah, there's nothing new for it now. You know, PSO2 is done to all intents and purposes. They're obviously just focusing on NGS now. Expert matchmaking would be nice for urgent quest and ultra hard content. If SIG give access to ultra hard content with starter gear, but only with a BP which is higher, then starter gear has access to expert matchmaking. Yeah, I don't think you should be able to just use the Tricelio and get into some of the ultra hard stuff. I mean, for the solo stuff, it's fine because realistically, if you're doing things like Masquerade, if you're not good enough, you're not going to be able to do it. And it's a solo quest anyway, so that's fine. I don't even think you need to have a BP requirement on that really because it's solo content anyway. And, you know, given how hard Masquerade is, particularly at the higher levels, you're not going to be able to do it with low-end gear. tried playing base PSO2 through Tweaker, but you were always lost on what to do because it was extremely late. It is, I will say, it is a very hard game to sort of acclimatise to at first.
Emergency code due.
This boss BGM is also a banger, it is. I'm also frozen. That never happens in NGS, I will say. It's very rare that I ever get a status effect in NGS. It does happen now and again. I think I got frozen a few weeks ago, and that was like the first time I'd ever been frozen in NGS for months. Yeah, me who hasn't unlocked anything on my Dark Plus yet. Should be fine. Good old reliable Dark Plus Elder. It really is. I think when you're low level as well, it's really handy to use early on. There we go. The last status I can remember is Dustal Vera's guitar stun from years ago. I don't know why it's like that in NGS. It's really weird that they've got status effects in the game, but you just never get them. I mean, there's like an EX augment you can use, like you for the 13-star rare drop. I'd be very surprised if level 50-something Giga dropped it. Yeah, it's really weird that there's an EX augment you can use that inflicts burn on you. I think the idea is you use it with another EX that gives you extra potency whenever you have a status effect on you. So that's quite a good sort of combination of EXs you can use, but it's really rare to get status effects from enemies. You used to get status all the time with the purple unit. Yeah, because I think the purple units, they reduced your resistance to statuses, didn't they? That was the wrong music there, PSO2. New action system is Zephyros mecha. Why? Because it was at the end of the Vile fight. It wasn't Zephyros itself, it was ours. To the point where when we got those stats, you could roll the class counter you wanted freeze resist. Yeah, those units were interesting. They were the ones from the Gigantics, weren't they? They just fell out of favour really quickly. People just stopped using them. You would imagine that the Rappy guy would give you a Rappy bonus key, but apparently not. Kazuchi, yeah, yippee. Yeah, I've done the Kazuchi key a couple of times. I find Kazuchi kind of annoying with some classes, particularly with this class. How's your gear? Not great. I haven't really paid much attention to it at all yet. So I'm basically using like a random 10-star rub with random fixes. And yeah, just terrible gear. It's awful. Because I don't really spend much time in PSO2 Classic. I basically play it for streams now and again, and that's about it. I will say I've always liked the detail in PSO2 that you can always see where you actually are. I'm not sure where the rear here unit is actually. Do I actually have it? No, for some reason I don't have the rear one. I have no idea why. I can't remember how I got the others, to be honest. Whether it was a title task or something. Check all storage. No, I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I know they have a set bonus on there. I think it was the same for the... There's like an upgraded version, isn't it? Was it the Psyche set? I think it was. I'm sure that had a set bonus as well. Yeah, I've always liked how you can see where you actually are. So you can see all the towers on this planet. You see the two provinces. Just a really cool little touch, I think. No, they do not have affixes. I think my plan was basically not pay too much attention to my gear until I'm at a decent level and then just upgrade stuff then. But again, for the amount I play Classic, it could be random drops maybe. Let's have a look. I'm saying they don't have affixes. I honestly don't know. No, they both got Yamato factor, so I assume I got them when we did Yamato. So I remember there was a stream where we did the Yamato quest, didn't we? So I assume I got them there. You love the classic dropship. It's a nice little sort of pre-lobby, isn't it, before you do the actual quest? One thing I do miss from Classic is the ability to add like your friends' characters as NPCs. I really miss that. I kind of wish to bring that back in NGS. I know it's rare that you need NPCs in any of the areas. You only typically get them if you go to a combat area and there's no one else there. But it would just be a nice thing to have. Yeah. I guess the way they've worked it into NGS is in the creative space, you can add characters in there. Yeah. Remember Drax showing you the beta lobby? The beta lobby was a lot different, yeah. Alright, let's see. What else can we do? Have no idea why they took it out. The only thing I think of is that maybe it was just the thought you're only going to have NPC partners if you go to an area and there's no one else there. So maybe they thought there's not much need for it. Have you seen the alpha lobby and UI design? I played from the second alpha of PSO2 Japan. So yeah, I was there when the lobby was different. There's a lot of things change, really. Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, there's like a photo room, isn't there? I forgot that. Yeah. In fact, then, trying which one it was. Ah, there it is. Yeah, so for anyone who didn't see the alpha lobby, this was it. It is very, very different. I mean, you can see kind of where they got the idea for the final lobby from. I mean, this area over here where you can see out across the city, that is obviously very similar to like the shop area of current PSO2. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because it's essentially treated as a field, you can still do your text and everything. So you can kind of see where they got the inspiration for parts of the PSO2 lobby, you know, from the final one. You just destroy Doodoo's item lab. It feels a lot more compact though than the PSO2 lobby, for sure. You can finally take payback for all of the failed fixes. I'm trying to work out what that says. I can see the second word is shop. What does that say? It's something shop, and the third letter in the first word is S. I'm just going on that because this letter here looks the same as this one. I have no idea what that says. I mean, that's weapon shop. You can see that easy. Disc shop. Ah, yeah. Yeah, it probably is. I will say, though, in what world is this a D? But yeah, it is probably disc shop. That's obviously costume shop. That's easy to read. And that's item shop. So they're not too bad. Just that one is a nightmare. But yeah, it's a really cool lobby though. So they did change it a lot. And there's also this part as well. So this, I guess, was like your gate area. So you've got arcs counter, which I'm assuming was maybe like your class counter, maybe. It's been so long since I played the alpha, so it's hard to remember, but I want to say this was maybe where your class counter was. And then quest board. Oddly, there's quest board and then quest counter. I can't remember what the difference between those was. Quest counter was obviously where you got your quests from. I genuinely can't remember what quest board was used for, if it was used. And that's, yeah, departure. It is really cool to be able to look around these lobbies. I'm glad they added this in, for people who didn't get to experience it at the time. Because, yeah, if you look up footage of PSO2 Alpha, it was a lot different to how it actually ended up being. I had no idea this was a thing. I do wonder why they changed it. Because to me, at least, I think I prefer this layout to the actual current one. Because I've always personally thought that the PSO2 ship is a bit too big. Like, to me, the gate area in particular just seems huge for no real reason. I get that obviously back in the day when it was more used, there was obviously a lot of people there, but it just feels big for no particular reason whatsoever. And the shop area as well, I think there's a lot of unused space in that. And while there is the same in this as well, at least this isn't as huge. So I do wonder why they changed it so much. This looks something like classic PSO. I think it does fit more similar to a PSO aesthetic. I mean, honestly, even if you look at the lobby we normally use on Blueburst, the EP3 lobby, there are definite sort of similarities between like the EP3 style lobby and this place as well. Yeah, I do wonder why they decided to change it. I know there was other things they changed as well. Like I know I've mentioned it before, but I know they changed the mate animation that you use when you heal. That used to be an injection instead of drinking something. I get why they changed that, but I really don't understand why they changed this. Is there an upstairs part as well? I think there is. Yeah, you used to inject yourself with a syringe. Maybe it was like a ratings thing or something. Maybe, you know, maybe they thought it could be seen as like a drug reference or something. I don't know. So maybe they just thought it was a bit safer to change it, but... We all know monomates are burgers, so it makes no sense to inject burgers. Yeah, just inject in pure fat and beef. But yeah, I like this lobby. And I think it's cool that they added it as a photo studio, so again, so people who weren't here to experience it could still check it out. Can you use these rooms for some background and videos? Yeah, I could, yeah. I do want to do some PSO2 content at some point. I mean, I would say I'd do some PSO2 story videos, but that is a huge undertaking. And something I don't know if I'm ready for. Some cool lobbies in the list. PSO2 story is just a few paragraphs. Yeah, a few extremely long paragraphs. I want to see actually, what do we actually have for these? So we've got all the different seasonal lobbies. I'm going to assume it doesn't have the collab ones. Yeah. So no Attack on Titan lobby. Let's not forget that episode 5 was an entire book. That's cool, we've got all the different rare fields as well. You can watch all the story in under 12 hours. Compared to FF14's hundreds. That probably explains why I never got very far in FF14. That's cool. You've got all the story scenes as well, like the places you can't actually go to normally. Wait, there is one for just a straight up medical bay. Is that just like one tiny room? I feel I need to see this now. That is it. I mean, if you ever want to take a photo in a tiny room with a bed, there's probably some people. I mean, sure. Yeah, I can think of some people who would probably use that. Yeah, for reasons. It is funny going back and playing this, honestly, though, because I just keep defaulting back to NGS controls. So if you see me just like randomly dodge, it's because I'm trying to sprint. Bright minds think alike. You do forget kind of how big some of the maps are in this game. I think it's hard to compare to NGS because obviously NGS has like the whole sort of open world kind of feel. The open world that you honestly don't really use that much. Again, that is something I would like to see change in NGS. I'd like to see them actually get some more use out of the open world and have a reason to actually go to it. I'm also hoping that they update the roadmap for NGS soon, because I think the way the roadmap is at the minute, I mentioned this in the podcast, but the way the roadmap is for NGS at the minute is super vague. How is it fake? They're adding more LTQs. No, vague. Vague instead of fake. The stuff that's on there is obviously the stuff we're getting, but I'd just like them to kind of specify what we are getting in a bit more detail. Everyone knows we're going to get more limited quests. That's kind of how NGS works. You know, that's obviously what the game is built around. You're still half deaf, no worries. I hope you feel better soon with that as well, because yeah, I know how bad that is when you can't hear properly. I remember hating this map, but it's been so long I can't remember why. Yeah, I will say it's not one of my favourite maps. So apparently I'm finding every single dead end. I think this one we just collect points anyway though, so it's fine. We just run around, kill stuff. The guy at the voting table said tons of stuff at me and I just said yes, thank you and left. I have no idea what he said. Yeah, if all else fails, just smile and nod awkwardly. My left ear has been moving to clog itself the last year or two. I generally have to get mine sorted about once a year because I have like really chronic sinusitis. And it's just like a side effect of that. It's awful. That's why I probably always sound really nasally on streams, because I am. Because I have been for about the last year and a half. Yeah, you can use the drops. I've used them a little bit. I tend to find they don't really do much for me. I normally have to like go to like a clinic place and get a thing called, I think it's called microsuction, where it's essentially like a tiny vacuum they put in your ear basically. It's not pleasant, but it works. Yeah, I went to the doctor's about it because I'd had sinusitis for like probably a month or so. went to the doctors and said, you know, how long do you think it'll be around for? I'd done like antibiotics and everything and nothing had really helped. And they said, oh yeah, sometimes it can last for like a year or two. I'm like, oh, great.
Emergency. Code. Attack.
Also from sinus infections, usually once per year. It's horrible. Like, I hate having them.
Completed.
Just makes the day it goes away that much better. I mean, yeah, I would get to a point where I would literally just wake up like every morning and I wouldn't be able to hear out of one ear. It was every single day. I thought sounding nasally was just how UK people sound naturally. Depends what part of the UK they're from. I think I've always sounded somewhat nasal, but it is worse at the minute because of sinusitis. Yeah, I would not wish it on anyone. I forgot how long this quest takes. Because you can't spam mobility yet. Yeah. I imagine it goes a lot quicker when you're at a higher level and you can just like spam the mobility tax. I hate that how, because I've done the emergency trial, some of the enemies that are nearby just decide to peace out. Like, no, I want you to stay so I can kill you to get the points. Wonder why completing trials doesn't get points. I think from that quest, you specifically have to kill like the Nibirius natives, so that's why, because obviously the enemies were Darkers. Oh, sorry, Foul Spawn. So I used to call them Darkers. Tokyo Gold Key, cool. Yeah, I think if the trial had been for Nibirius natives, it probably would have got points. I should probably do that gold key. Now I'm trying to remember where it is. Bonus quest, there we go. Yeah, I think PSO2 day is like a permanent thing on this now. Does your alliance have a trait? I think we do. I honestly don't know how many people from my alliance play Classic regularly. I know Kathy logs on it fairly regularly because I think they do it Cradle runs. And I think they use PSO2 to get SG. You'll see Kathy doing Cradle. At least you get the Tokyo music for a couple minutes. Yeah, I think this is probably one of my favourite PSO2 tracks. And I'll be honest, I'm generally not a huge fan of vocal tracks. But I really don't mind the Tokyo thing. I like Borderless as well, and there's a couple of others I like. Yeah, Borderless is really good. I always find it funny that you literally fight tanks and stuff in Tokyo. Oh god, you actually hurt. Oh no. Mother BGM after Phantasy Star 2 hits different, it really does. I mean, to be honest, I always liked the Mother music anyway. But when I did Mother on PSO2, I had no idea it was basically a remix of Bliss of Death. Used to spam this. Used to spam this so much back in the day. Yeah, basically any time you got a Tokyo Gold key, you would just spam this. It just made so much sense to do it. Yeah, I've never liked fighting this guy. So I found Ren last stream. We did. The MVP of Classic PS. He does seem very good. I really don't like fighting this guy with force. The shock really screwed me up that. So status effects actually like are a problem in this game. Can you not? Every time I'm trying to heal, I get shocked. It's really annoying. It was more direct to break the orbs. Yeah, shock is just super annoying this. Let's get rid of it actually. I found it really like weird the hitbox on the orbs, because I know you meant to like destroy the orbs. I can't end with that. That doesn't work. So I am locked onto the orbs. It seems counterintuitive to use lightning, but that doesn't work. It's really weird, like sometimes I feel like I kill this guy really easy and then sometimes he just doesn't seem to die. Wow. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'm meant to take care of him, honestly. It is very rude, it is. I think I'm probably going to time out here, honestly, because I just don't feel like I've got anything that can really reliably hit the orbs. Yeah, I'm trying Rafoi. Let's try it there. No. Try it there. No. No. Just doing 1 damage everywhere I target. I don't know if it's meant to do this or not, but... yeah, I've got Gazonde on, I think. Point blank Gazonde, sir. Oh, every time I've got to do it, he just does the dash again. Even that's not doing it. I don't know if I've ever had this happen on tagging me. I know sometimes it's a little bit awkward to break it, but... Not even that wasn't doing it. Yeah, I've never had tagging me out like this. Try Nagrance again on top of him. Nope. I don't know why nothing is hurting him. Like, I'm pretty sure that they sort of should take damage after a while. Yeah, nothing is doing damage. Rod Smack does like 20. Oh, that finally broke and he's gonna... I don't know what the reason for that was. Fine, whatever. Yeah, it seems super weird on the orbs. I really don't know what the strat is for those. Maybe you do just have to melee the orbs or something, I'm not sure. I don't ever remember having that problem though when I did it before. It was a key, yeah, but to be fair, the key's really easy anyway, so I'm not too worried. If you grants type 0, the circular blade attack makes it really easy. Yeah, it's just strange because I've done that bonus quest loads of times, like when I used to play PSO2 on like Japanese side, and I don't remember ever having that problem with tagging me. So I know you give me SFI custom there. It's easy to handle on melee classes. So I do have a customized gear grants. Let's get Nagrants off because that seems kind of terrible. So uncharged. I remember this, yeah. The blender. I did the uncharged one, okay. Oh, you gotta hold it for the uncharged. Okay, fair enough. But that was holding. Oh, you mean there is no uncharged version? You have to hold it to get the tech to come out, okay. So I don't remember this one at all. Can usually break his orbs just by tapping a grant and jumping in his face. Okay. I guess even if it does 1 damage, I think because you're hitting him so rapidly, yeah, probably would break it quite quick. Also, thanks for the follow, Zephyr Loves as well. Hey, Reunion. The OST of PSO is so unique. I missed it. That's the first time I've actually ever been to this map, so I get the cutscene. Hopefully that's not the one we're going to for Vile. Why is the Tokyo music playing? Where am I? Sometimes I ask myself that question. Haunted by Tokyo. She's gonna have like, flashbacks to her fail in the bonus gate. Yeah, where are you and where am I? Then the music just stops suddenly. Here in the ship, the weird space sound in the background gives such a unique feel. Yeah, it's kind of weird, the quote-unquote music in the camp ship, because it is more or less just ambient noise, but for some reason it just kind of suits the area. Repel enemies and collect 1,000 quest points. Okay. I've always really liked the city music, yeah. Some enemies would be nice. Cool. We finally got some.
PSE burst.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it's a really cool zone, honestly, just getting to see an arc ship that's actually under attack. I guess we've got something, you know, a little similar in NGS with Nameless City, because obviously Nameless City is, you know, maybe like an arc ship. Although it does look a little bit different to this. Oh, hi.
Emergency code due.
I was like Vol Dragon. I have good memories of doing him as well, because when you did the alpha test, he was like the hardest thing in the alpha test.
Emergency code attack.
There you go. Close enough anyway. Oh god, there's those mantis guys behind me as well. I hate those things. Remember when Ragnar was hard? In the alpha test, if he showed up, yeah, he was really, really difficult. Even Vol Dragon was quite difficult, honestly. Please lock onto the car, thank you. Yeah, I like Vol Dragon.
Completed.
Game was so slow compared to now. Yeah, I seem to remember that the alpha test in particular, it did feel like a much slower paced game than it became. I think the speed thing in PSO2, honestly, I think as the game went on, it got faster and faster. You love ELFL in this game, the meatball. Yeah, is that the one that basically just drops like a tactical nuke on them? Oh, hey, I remember these guys. You could always kind of cheese these guys with techs. Because even when they're guarded, you could still hit their car if you were locked onto it. It is one thing I will say of PSO2 in its credit. I think it had a lot of variety to its maps. With NGS at the minute, I think the maps are very much sort of... They're very thematic of the areas they're in, so you know, all the earlier maps are like, you know, open grassland ones, or 10 ones are all deserts and so on. I think in this, there would definitely be a lot more experimental with the maps. Even on each planet, each biome was totally different. Which again, thinking about it, feels a bit Phantasy Star 3. And definitely where NGS got its inspiration from, for sure. Yeah, when I went through the tunnel for the first time on Phantasy Star 3, I was like, wait a minute. It's cool to basically taken that kind of idea from Phantasy Star 3 and reuse the same kind of concept. Oh, Rappy. I'm not killing the Rappy. I know it'll just run away anyway, but do not do Rappy violence. We save Rappy violence for the chirpers in Phantasy Star 3. Oh god. I hate this NPC. Every time she shows up. How she has not been fired from her job by now is beyond me.
Emergency. Code. Protection.
I like these guys just having a rave in the background. At least it's not Lilliput trapped by the robot. I would take that trial any day because every time that trial shows up, I just attack the robot. I don't think I ever actually completed that trial. Because every time it showed up, I would just destroy the robot. Like, deliberately. If I was with random people, I wouldn't. But yeah, if I was on my own, that robot is getting destroyed. I was wondering lately something about NGS. I know that not long ago this VTuber Popona quit. They also changed their NGS headline caster. Do we have any more info on how the game's doing? So the VTuber thing, that could be any sort of reasons. It could just be that they wanted to move on to something else. I think Popona was mainly there to try and sort of build some more hype for NGS on the Japanese side. Maybe they think it's not really that needed now. In regards to the headline caster, I don't really know why Hero stopped doing it, but I do feel that it was definitely needed to have a change for the NGS headlines because they were extremely sterile. That's not a knock at Hero as well. That's obviously how he was told to present it, but it was very, very dull watching the NGS headlines. The ones that are out now have a little bit more personality to them. In regards to how the game's doing, the Japanese side, I assume it's doing fine. On the global side, it's hard to get accurate figures for it because the only real figures you can get for NGS is the Steam chat figures, which obviously only cover the Steam population. Bear in mind, it's also on the Windows stores, it's also on some consoles as well. I think on Steam side, I think it's been hovering sort of around, I want to say anywhere between 1,500 to 3,000 depending on updates. So it's not a big population, but that is only the Steam population. So there is still the Windows store and then the consoles to add on to that. So it does make it very difficult to sort of tell how the game is doing overall. I mean, if you look at YouTube videos and stuff, all you'll see is negativity about the game, but Some of that is definitely warranted, some of it is massively overblown. Missed the old live streams, they just chilled and had fun even though they couldn't really get what they were saying. The only issue with the old PSO2 station live streams is just that they were so long. Like, some of them were hours long. It's not, I mean, yeah, 1500, 3000 is not great. But again, we don't know how many people are playing on consoles. We don't know how many people are on the Windows Store. Probably not too many on Windows Store, admittedly. And at the end of the day, it is a niche franchise. Do I think it's in a fantastic place? No, not really. Like, it could definitely be in a better place of population. I think, unfortunately, with NGS, I think the early days of the game really put a lot of people off. You know, obviously it had a very rough launch with loads of bugs and loads of, like, server issues. And then on top of that, then, you know, updates were few and far between and didn't really add a whole lot near the beginning. And I feel that that definitely put a lot of people off the game. That's the thing as well, yeah, I suppose anyone that uses Tweaker as well, I don't know if they'll count towards the figures. So yeah, it's a quite hard question to answer, honestly, because it's just hard to get accurate figures. I mean, I've quoted NGS Steam chat figures in videos before, but I don't think they're the only metric that you should look at, because they don't tell the whole picture. Forgot to mention Sabata for the Kazuchi fight. Yeah, it could have worked. Oh yeah, poke your head out in the building. That helps. With Sega's recent push for their older IPs, we got him. With Sega's recent push for their older IPs, for example, today there was a Virtua Fighter Direct. I'd love to see this franchise also be pushed to be as big as it could. I mean, PSO2 base was huge on the Japanese side. You know, it was. I can't stress how big that game was on the Japanese side. But it is definitely a thing that Phantasy Star is very much a niche franchise. There's probably a lot of people who still haven't even heard of it. And Gazonde, please. Thank you. Yeah, I saw there'd been a Virtua Fighter Direct, because I think there's a new one coming out, isn't there? I don't know when it's coming out, but yeah, I saw they'd done a Direct for it. I don't know if we're going to get 1,000 points in time. I think this is ideally designed for more people, but it's still not a bad experience anywhere. One thing I hate about PSO2 controller is weapon swapping. Yeah, same. Just run until you get trials, okay. I suppose, yeah, the trials give like a more bonus experience down there. Or more bonus points, I should say. Oh, hey, it's this dude.
Emergency. Code. Attack.
They're remaking VF5 for some modern consoles. A new game was shown after Evo Japan. Oh, nice. It's good to see franchises like that coming back. I mean, I've never been a big fighting game fan in general. I don't know if I've even played a Virtua Fighter, honestly. But it's good to see them actually, you know, bringing the franchise back. I know it's been away for a long time. Oh, another one. Too kind.
Change over. Code. Attack.
Can you come over here, please, sir? Any time of day. There we go.
Completed.
Sega definitely have many franchises that have been unnecessarily absent. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're doing something with a few of them at least. But it would be nice to have something for Phantasy Star.
Emergency. Code. Due. Emergency. Code. Attack.
It was. Really? Another one? Do it want to run back?
Change over. Code. Due.
Okay, we've got 2 minutes to get 100 points. If I can get another trial, I can Dark Blast. Nice. Please tell me I didn't miss the Gamba. There's been no Gamba. I was rather hoping you'd give more points than that.
Emergency.
Come on, just give me one more boss.
Completed.
Oh. I've got the rare one. There we go.
Emergency. Code.
Yeah, Noir Dralia. The lolly dragon. So, can you please stop chasing me? The quest is over. So while the time is still counting down? I mean, I'm gone. I mean, the timer is still counting down. I have finished the quest. I do wonder what happened there if the timer actually ran out. Yeah, solo 1k takes a little while. It was starting to get serious the second time, yeah. Alright then, so for the last 15 minutes, we'll do a bit of Gamba, why not? Jagged Dingle Suppression. It's a hell of a name, that. Actually, yeah, does Lisa do the laugh? Yeah, that's where I got the laugh from. Alright, Gamba time. Actually, is there any other blocks better for this? I'm going to assume there's probably no one here. No, that is the best block. Jagged Dingle Suppression sounds like a weird section. It really does. Oh, you want the slot machines instead? Okay, I can do the slot machines then. Expect nothing. Also, I hope you like the rappy theme. Oh. I'll take that. The playing schedule 1 lost all my money to blackjack, thinking about the all the blackjack I played would get me good at it. Yeah, I'm terrible at blackjack. Well, even when I think I've got a good hand, it just seems like now always has 21s. I mean, I was rather hoping for the gold ones instead, but, you know. So I'm pretty sure there was slot machines in PSU as well, wasn't there? In the casino there. I'm sure I remember there being slot machines. Remember doing so much slots, had to restrain myself, otherwise I'd go broke. I remember that the strat with these used to be what you would basically do is you'd come to the casino and you would basically just go like, okay, that one's got some rappy meter, okay, that one's got 2, that one's got 0, and you basically run down all the machines, find one with really high rappy meter, and use that to try and get the bonus. Wow, thanks to the 5 coins. Which gamba's my favourite? I think I typically did blackjack the most. I think I found it generally one of the easier ones to make a bit of casino coins on as well. Arkham slots is your favourite. I'm terrible at Arkham slots. You don't remember the casino in PSU at all? It was basically, there was like a huge roulette in the middle of the casino that took up most of the casino, and then like round, I think it was around the edges of the casino there was slot machines. The payout when you win's insane. Yeah, I think it was probably the best payout, wasn't it, if you could do well on it. It was like high risk, high reward, wasn't it? Because I think you paid more to play it as well. Yeah, this is the typical slot machine experience in this, honestly. Unless... Again, I was rather hoping for the gold one instead. The other slightly BS thing about the Rappy slot is it doesn't work like an actual slot machine. So on an actual slot machine, you would typically have like 3 reels. But on this, you actually have 9 individual reels. And the other reason I stopped doing this was because while I like the Rappy Fever music, when you've listened to it like non-stop for more time than I would like to admit, it does start to get on your nerves a bit. It did originate in PS0, it did. It can get really old. I've seen enough slots if the song is annoying you. Unless... Oh, is that a Fever? There we go. Now we get the hype version. And I'll probably fail the 5 spins. That was a pretty nice spin. Money, money, money. All right, one more spin. Rip. No PSA burst. Alright, we'll do a couple of hands of Blackjack to finish off. The Rappy Fever song goes kind of hard. It does, it does. I mean, that, in normal circumstances, would be a pretty good hand. But knowing you, you've probably got a 21. You'd probably get a 5-carder. And why not at this point? You're gonna do it? Ha. No, we actually won once, so I'm happy now. It is kind of weird with Black Knight because sometimes Nyao just seems to get overly greedy. I think he has to pull until about 17 or so, but sometimes after 17 he'll just pull again. I mean... Blackjack, the game that inspired Blackjack. See there, he's getting greedy. Hey, Blackjack. Uh, 16's not great. I'll risk it. Rip. Who would have thought that my actions would have consequences? He's too greedy to be a healer. Oh look, he got Blackjack. I found that really weird on the Phantasy Star 2 playthrough, how we had so many problems with Dark Force on the first stream, and the second stream was like, yeah, we're just gonna do it first time. Oh, I really don't like 15. I feel like I have to hit on 15. Rip. Go on, get another 21. I personally feel I shouldn't lose if you lose as well. Yeah, I suppose we got a couple levels, didn't we? So that we had a little bit more health. I was so glad to get through that fight, though. I think the Mother Brain fight is much better. I feel like every time I'm on 15 or 16, I always draw a 10 value card. Every time. I think Niao has loaded the decks. I'm kind of interested in PS3 though as well to see how the boss fights go, because I don't think we've had one yet. Oh, we have another player on the table. I'll stay on 19. So they've either got 5 cards or they've gone bust. Oh, that's so unlucky. 22 on a 5-carder. Oh, well, 26 after Meow. Sorry, Niao. Oh, look, he got Black Nyak. Absolute scam. You'll find that PS3 techs are useful, but way less than 1 and 2, you'll auto-attack a lot. Okay. I mean, I got the mage dude. What's his name? Is it? I want to say, was it Lyle? I think. And he seemed pretty useful with all the text that he had. Okay, so we're on 12 here. I can almost guarantee I'm going to draw a 10 card. See? It's fixed. Absolutely rigged. Boss BGM is the same as regular fights. Oof. I did notice the overworld theme change, yeah. I think someone in chat said I've got 1 more character to unlock, I think. So it looks like there's maybe 5 characters to get. What's the best piece of loot you could receive through the Gamba jackpots? So the casino coins, I'll show you quick after this hand, actually. There's basically a shop in the casino you can exchange the coins for. Because you actually gamble with, it's a different currency to your normal Mazetta. So I guess they didn't want to risk upsetting the market too much for Mazetta. So they had it as a separate currency. Do you know what? I'm going to stay on 19. Yeah, just crashed the Mazetta market. Well, we actually won, so I know that when you win, you walk away. Yeah, basically there's a shop up here. Is it this one? I think. So you've got things like really cursed outfits, so you can make yourself look like this. Or alternatively, if you want to be even more cursed, you can make yourself look like Meow. There's also weapon camos as well, most of which look kind of terrible. Oh, there is a literal keyblade. You would totally get the fancy Furby outfit. Well, I've got great news for you. It comes in multiple colours. You can have a red one, or a blue one, or a green one, or just a classic one. And there is also a mag device for Niao, so that's how you get the mag device actually for Niao. Yeah, there's a few other things you can get as well. A few basic materials, and then there's limited prizes like star gems, which we will get now actually. Things like triggers as well to trigger certain rare enemies. Sympathy version was in NGS now. Oh, okay, fair enough. So yeah, that's what you use the coins for anyway. Wait, that client order is called no slot shaming. I mean, the only term I can think of that's similar to that and shaming is probably not safe to say on stream. I'm very surprised that that actually made it in. Mike Farms and Classic do port over to NGS. How many coins was it? 10,000, yeah, so we don't have enough at the minute, but we can work towards it. The localization team got mad that we got mad over the planet name changes, so they went wild for this one. I don't even think the planet names are too much of a big deal, honestly. I mean, things like sort of Nibirius to Nivirius, or whichever way around it is, it's fine. There's not too many big differences, I don't think. Some of them sound a little bit awkward, like I think they changed Harukotan to Harkotan or something. They aren't against street work in the games because they also do Yakuza. They do. I'm just surprised to see it in PSO2. But I guess, I mean, PSO2 is a adult rated game now, so... But yeah, I think we'll probably end that one there for today, I think. So quite good to actually get a bit of NGS done for a change as well. And show the creative space off as well. I think the plan for this week, I think on Tuesday is going to be, well, the PSO BB video for non-members, which is the last of the F1 side stories. And members will probably be getting I think it's an NGS video this week. Wednesday, we are doing Phantasy Star 3. I think the following week after that, we might take a 1 week break from Phantasy Star 3 and go back to it. But this Wednesday coming will definitely be Phantasy Star 3 because we now actually have the walking speed mod working, thankfully. So we'll do that on Wednesday. And then next weekend, we will play something. I need to decide what to do for next week. I think what we haven't done for a while. Potentially Zero, maybe. No, I'll think about it. Yeah, I was so happy that we got the movement speed mod working. It makes so much difference. But yeah, we will end that on there. Thanks again for killing you off for the bits as well. Much appreciated. Fortnite. Would you believe you are not the first person to ask me to play Fortnite? Kids these days can't take their time. Have you seen how slow Phantasy Star 3 is? I'm not dealing with that for the full game. No way. But yeah, we'll end up on there, and I'll be back on Wednesday with another stream, and like I say, a new video on Tuesday as well. Have you played Pokemon? I have played several Pokemon games. They normally have bicycles in them to make you go faster as well. They're a bit rough before then, but yeah. But yeah, I'll end there before I just start ranting about random games. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on Wednesday for the next stream. So whatever you're doing, have a good week. See you guys. Yeah, Reese needs a bicycle. See you guys.